Hello, and welcome to this series of videos on the TI-30XS calculator. My name is Becky McGuffin, and I'm a math instructor with the Heartland Adult Education Consortium. The goal of this series of videos is to teach you how to get the maximum benefit out of your calculator on test day. When I tutor students, I always begin by asking them how comfortable they are with the calculator. And they almost always reply, "Oh yes, Miss Becky, I know how to use the calculator." But as I work with them, I find they really only knew how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. I often hear, "I didn't know the calculator would do that," after I show them one of the calculator functions. In this series, we'll go over exponent buttons, scientific notation, fractions, percents, even the store and variable buttons that you'll be able to use for more challenging algebra problems like those you'll find on the GED. If possible, I suggest you have one of the calculators in your hand as we go through these videos. That will allow you to practice each of the keystrokes as we go through different examples. This journey may be long, but I promise it will be rewarding and you will learn something about your calculator before we finish. So let's begin. One more way we're going to use our store button on the calculator is to find equivalent expressions. Now, these kinds of questions can be asked lots of different ways. They could say, distribute. They could say add, subtract, multiply, divide, factor. But anytime we're trying to find an equivalent expression, we're going to use this next trick. And I try to tell people the three ways we can use our store button. The first way were questions where they tell us what x is. They tell us the value of the variable, and we stored that number. The second way is when we were trying to find x, and we have multiple choice answers. We could store those answer choices and test them, do guess and check to see which one worked. This third way is we don't have any numbers here. They didn't tell me what x is, and there are no numbers in my multiple choice answers. What we're looking for is if I have x in the question and x in the answer. And if you see x in the question and x in the answer, we're going to just pick a number, and I suggest 3. We're going to store 3 for x. And students say, well, why 3? Well, we could use any number, and I'll show you that this will work with any number in a few minutes. But I try to avoid 0, 1, and 2 because there are certain situations where those don't work. But 3 almost always will work for you. So anytime we have x in the question or any other variable and x in the answer, we're going to store 3 for x. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to type in the question, the expression that is in the question. So we're going to store 3 for x first. 3 store x, enter. And now we're going to type in this question. X squared minus 10x plus 16. And we hit enter, and I get the answer of -5. So what that tells me, the value of this expression, the answer to this expression, when x is 3, the answer is -5. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take our answer choices, and we're going to type in our answer choices. And when we find the one that is also equal to -5, that's the expression that is equivalent, or the one that would be equal. So we have to type them exactly the same. I don't have to store 3 again. It's still stored. But we'll hit our parentheses, and we'll do x plus 4. We'll close our parentheses. We'll hit the open and do x minus 4. And I get the answer of -7. Well, I'm looking for -5, so A is not right. So now we'll go on to B. Parentheses x plus 8, close my parentheses, parentheses x minus 2, close my parentheses, hit enter, I got 11. B is not right. C, parentheses x minus 8, close my parentheses, open x plus 2, close my parentheses, I got -25. Not right. I hope D works. Parentheses x minus 8, close my parentheses, parentheses, x minus 2. and I hit enter, and I get negative 5. That's the right one because these are equivalent. We got the same answer. Now I said I would show you that I could use any answer, any number. So we're going to pick a different number for 3. Pick whatever number you want. I'm going to pick negative 50, well, not negative. I'm going to do 52. Okay, and we're going to, a negative would have worked, but I'm going to store 52 for x. 52, store x, enter. And now I'm going to type in this problem. And I'm not going to get negative 5 because now I have 52 stored for x instead of 3. But I am going to get an answer. X squared minus 10x plus 16. I hit enter and I got 2,200. Now, I don't have to type in all these answers because I know this is the right one. But when I type in answer choice D, I'm going to get the same number that I got for my problem. Parentheses, x minus 8, and parentheses, x minus 2. And there it is. We have the same number. So you can see it doesn't really matter what number you use for x. Pick a number, use the same one. Like I said, I like 3. It's a low number. That way you get lower answers instead of getting these large answers. But if you just store 3 for x, type in the expression, get a number, type in the answer choices till you find the one that gives you the same number. Those will be the equivalent expressions. Let's look at a few other examples. This is one where we had to factor. The goal was they were wanting us to factor that trinomial. So now we're going to do the opposite. It's like we're trying to take those and multiply them together to get a trinomial. Okay, but what do I look for? I have x in the question and x in the answers. I'm trying to find an equivalent expression. So we're going to store 3 for x. Okay, 3, store x, enter. The first step, store the number. Second step, we're going to type in our question. Parentheses, 3x plus 2, close my parentheses, open 4x minus 1, close. And I get the answer 121. That's the magic number I'm looking for. Now we're going to type in our answer choices until we find the one that gives me the same answer, 121, that I got when I typed in the question. So 12x, put the square on there, plus 11x minus 2, hit enter, I got 139. Not right. Go for B, 12x squared plus 5x minus 2, hit enter, 121. There's the right answer. I don't even have to type in C and D. Sometimes you'll find it in A or B and you won't have to type in all 4. But if you're not sure how to use the FOIL method or how to multiply these, and these, however you've been taught to do it, even if you do know, you can use your FOIL method, get an answer, and then you can use this method to check and verify that whatever you get for this, the answer you get when you type in the question will be the same answer that you get when you type in the answer if it is the correct answer. Okay, so we can factor, we can multiply, we can simplify. Here's another one where we're looking for an equivalent expression. What are we looking for? We have x in the question and x in the answer. You might not know how to simplify that, so we can use this trick. We're going to store 3 for x. 3, store x, enter. We'll type in our question first. This is a fraction, so I'm going to hit my fraction bar, 4x minus 24. I'm going to go to the bottom and put x, add the square, minus 6x. And I'm going to hit enter, and I get the answer of 4/3. So now I can type in my answer choices and see which one gives me 4/3. If I type x minus 6, I got -3. Not right. If I do 4 times x, I get 12. Not right. We're looking for 4/3. For C, if I put 4 on top and X on the bottom and I hit enter, 4/3. There is my right answer. If I had used a different number for X, I would have gotten a different number answer here, but whatever I got would be the same answer I got when I typed in answer choice C. Adding and subtracting polynomials or simplifying expressions is another one where we can do this. Normally we know how to combine like terms, so we're looking for the x squared and x squared, and I put the 6x squared and the 4x squared together, and I have to put the 3x and the x together, and the 2 and the -3, and we have to put all those together and then combine those like terms. Do I have x's in the question and x's in the answer? Yes. So if you're not great at combining like terms, or you want to verify that the answer you get is correct after you have done it, we're going to use our store 3 for x trick. 3 store x. And now we're going to type in this whole long expression. Yeah, it's a little long, but we only have to type it once, so that's okay. 6x, and put the exponent of 2, minus 3x plus 2, minus 4x squared minus x minus 3. We hit enter and we get the answer of 5. So now we can type in our answer choices, and when we find the one that is equal to 5, that's going to be the correct answer. 10x squared minus 4x minus 1. 77. Not right. 2x squared minus 4x minus 1. 5. There it is. We don't have to go on and type in C and D because I found it with answer choice B. And like I said, you'll get quicker at this. The more you use your calculator, the more you learn how to put in these problems, you will get faster, and you find that it doesn't take long at all to enter these questions once you are comfortable and know how to use the calculator and don't have to stop and think, how do I enter an exponent of 2? You just know how to do it. Okay, here's one more. This is like a subtracting polynomials. Students get these mixed up. You know, we have to take the minus here and change all these signs and then combine the like terms. But here's what we're going to do. We have x's in the question. We have x's in the answer. We're going to store 3 for x. 3 store x, enter. And then I'm going to type in my problem, parentheses and all. Parentheses 3x, add the exponent of 2, minus 2x plus 5. Close your parentheses, minus, open the next parentheses, 9x squared minus 4x plus 3. And close your parentheses. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to get an answer of -46. Now we're just going to type our answer choices until we get the one that gives me -46. So we'll start with answer choice A, 6x squared minus 6x plus 8. 44. No, I need -46. A's not right. B, -6x squared plus 2x plus 2. -46. There it is. Don't have to go any further. So it doesn't take long, and it's worth it if it guarantees that you got the correct answer. If you know how to add and subtract polynomials, you can add and subtract them, and if you get answer choice B, you can use this trick to check and verify and make sure that you got the right answer. If you had gotten C and checked it and it wasn't the same answer, then you know you have messed up somewhere. So it's just a strategy to try to get a question right that you might have missed otherwise. And it works even if I have more than one variable. So this is the last example I'll show you, but we've always said if you have x in the question and x in the answer, you can use this store 3 trick. Well, here I have x and y. Well, I can store 3 for x, But you can't store 3 for x and 3 for y. You have to pick two different numbers, store a different number for x and a different number for y. And we learned how to do that a few videos ago when we were evaluating expressions, and we were evaluating expressions with more than one variable. So I'm still going to use 3 for x, and I'm going to use 4 for y. Once again, I could use anything, but just pick two numbers that you like, use the same one for x, same one for y. So now we're going to store 3 for x, 3 store x, and 4 store once for x, twice for y. Now I've got those numbers stored. I'm going to type in my question, parentheses, 2x plus 3, once for x, twice for y, close my parentheses, open my parentheses, x minus 2, once for x, twice for y, hit enter. When I hit enter, I get negative 90 is the answer. Negative 90 is the answer when 3 is substituted in for x and 4 is substituted for y. If I'm looking for an equivalent expression, I can type in these answer choices, and whichever one is equal to negative 90 is going to be the right answer. So let's try answer choice A. 2x squared plus 7x. Remember the little trick we have when you have a variable followed by another variable. I have to move my cursor over before I can put my second letter there. Y minus 6, once for x, twice for y, add the square to it. I got 6. I need negative 90, so A is not right. Let's go to B. 2x squared minus x. To put my y, I've got to scoot over, add the y, minus 6, once for x, twice for y, squared. Hit enter. There's negative 90. Once again, B is the correct answer. I don't need to go on and check these because once I have found the right answer is B, there's no reason to go any further. This is especially useful, like I said, anytime you have to find equivalent expressions. Adding polynomials, subtracting polynomials, factoring, using the FOIL method and multiplying binomials, using the distributive property. Anytime you have x in the question and x in the answer and you're trying to find equivalent expressions, pick a number. I like 3, store 3 for x, type in the question, get a number, and type in the answers until you find the match. When you find the match, you can be pretty confident that you have gotten the right answer on that question. And now it's time to practice. I encourage you to get to know your calculator, get very comfortable with it, and learn as many tips and tricks as you can for your calculator to help you on test day.